What's up, everyone? Today we're going to talk about the tool that has led to more growth in my private practice than any other tool. It's right up there with my EHR in terms of importance. I mean, I'm using it every single day. I couldn't imagine running my practice without it now that I use it. It's also something I didn't even know about for a while. And then when I did learn about it, I wrote it off. That's not for private practices. That's for other businesses, other industries. And so I just didn't use it. And eventually I did. And I really wish that I had gone back and used it from day one. This is a tool that really helps with growth in ways you couldn't imagine. Now, I'm not gonna make you sit through an intro. Let's just talk about what this tool is. We are talking about a CRM, in particular, a HIPAA compliant CRM, because we are therapists after all. So everything we use needs to be HIPAA compliant. And so in this video, what are we gonna talk about? In the spirit of holding nothing back, let's just look at my notes. All right, so we are going to talk about in this video what a CRM is. We'll do a high-level overview. I'm going to tell you why you need one, and I don't spell things well, so you'll notice that here, and how I think it could actually really explode your private practice growth, even if you are the smallest practice and you're just starting out. We're going to talk about how to access one, right? So how can you actually get a CRM for your practice? And then I'm going to tell you about the bonus features of a CRM and all the added benefits that could come along with using one if you choose to do so. So let's start right here. What is a CRM? So it stands for Customer Relationship Management, or a Customer Relationship Management Tool, something like that. The easiest way to think about it is it's like an EHR for potentially interested customers. So pretty much anyone who has expressed interest in your practice, right? Whether they reached out on Psychology Today, or they called you, or they emailed you, or word of mouth, people who reach out to your practice and say, hey, I'm interested in what you do. I might want to be a client. You need a place for all those people to live. That's called a CRM, okay? Some EHRs kind of act like one, but not really. There's really no EHR that can replace a CRM at the moment. All right, so that's the way you want to think about what a CRM is. And then within that CRM, right, we're able to do a bunch of different things. So number one, at the simplest way, we're able to kind of collect basic information about the people, right? Name, phone number, email. We need that if we're going to reach back out to those people and let them know what we do and book them a free consult or get them set up with an intake, that kind of thing. Right? We can add notes. We can just do a whole, right? Any other the data collection, right? The things that are important to your practice, the information you need, you can collect that in your EHR, right? Or I get it confused sometimes with the EHR, with your CRM. And that way you have the info you need about everyone who's interested. All right. Now, in addition to that, we can add tags and we can organize leads on various factors. So not only are we collecting things like names and phone numbers, which are obviously needed to reach back out, but we can add tags like what they're reaching out for. So maybe they're coming because they're interested in anxiety, or maybe they are wanting to work on ADHD. We can tag them from where they came. Did they come from Psychology Today? Did they come from word of mouth? Did they come from Google? And so now we're starting to add some very important information to each of these profiles. And you can imagine after a while we have a collection and we know which people came from Psychology Today. We know how many came. We know which months they came in. We know what people reached out for. And now we're starting to collect very important data about our private practice, which will really help us with the decision making down the line. All right, we'll talk about that in a little bit. But the ability to add tags and to organize this information is really, really critical. It also allows for immediate follow-up right from within the platform. Okay, so I know a lot of us will respond at the end of the business day or whenever we're done seeing clients, maybe even in between. And in today's day and age, that's sometimes not quick enough. So we can do an immediate follow-up with the CRM. And not only that, we can actually follow up in the CRM. And I'm going to show you that in a little bit. We're going to dive into the CRM actually, and you can take a look. And I mean email, phone calls, and texting all from within the CRM. And then finally, and this might be self-explanatory, but our CRM is obviously going to have this information there. So over time, we're creating a database of people who at one point in time raised their hands and said they were interested in our services, right? And that can be used down the line to reach out during seasons that are slower, right? We can think about if we're going to run groups down the line, we can have a whole list of people that might be interested in that. There's a lot we can do with that information, right? And we'll dive into that in just a second. But this is at the core what a CRM is. It's a way for managing all the potential people or all the people who are potentially interested in working with you. Okay, now here's the crux of it. Why do we need one? Now there are tons of reasons why, but I want to share with you the main ones. Number one, you are for sure missing out on potential clients and we don't want to leave any potential client on the table. And I'm not talking just, everyone and anyone, but clients who are a good fit for you. Let me explain a little bit, okay? And this is where a lot of people, they kind of, when I tell them about a CRM, they're like, oh, and it's not for me. I just started, I don't have many clients. Well, there might be people who aren't, contacting you because you don't have the CRM set up. So let me explain. Now, when we have our website up or our Psychology Today or whatever it is, right? Usually we have an email attack, like the people can email us or contact us or call us. And usually for most therapists, this ends up on a phone, right? An email or a voicemail, or it ends up in an inbox, right? Where we're going to check our emails. And even the best therapists, right? Unless you're sitting there at that very moment or you're able to answer the phone, you have to call back after a session, maybe by the end of the day. And most of the therapists I work with, they're pretty quick to respond, right? But again, like I said earlier, it's not, for this day and age, it's not quick enough. Now imagine a restaurant, right? If you're looking to go to a restaurant, one has the ability to book a table or reserve a table online, right from Google or their website, and it's a couple clicks and you're reserved. Or the other, you have to message them and wait for them to get back to you, right? Like, which one are you going to go to? Most likely, you're going to go to the one you can book online. It's just so much easier, right? And so that's one of the ways we want to think about this as well. And a good CRM is going to have an ability for you to embed a calendar into your website and other areas. I'm so sorry, there's a ambulance or a cop car going by. Hopefully you can still hear me. But there's an ability to embed a calendar, right? A seamless booking mechanism onto these to your website, so that when that's loud. We're gonna keep going. So that when someone goes to your website, they can easily book with you, right? And make that experience really seamless. There are probably people who look at your website, it might be too hard or too intimidating to schedule. They don't want to send a message, they don't want to wait, and they move on, right? The other thing is, like I'm saying, responding, at the end of the day is not quick enough. So a lot of most CRMs, they should have an ability for you to set up an automation so that when someone emails or someone does contact you, an immediate text, an immediate email goes out. I mean, within seconds, right? And that's the speed with which we want to be following up with people. Again, another example, if you're looking for a plumber, right? Now, again, we can't compare ourselves to plumbers perfectly, but let's imagine you're looking for a plumber. You have a list you're going through. The first one doesn't call you, leave a voicemail. The second one picks up or texts you right back with a link to book a call. You're probably going to go with that one, right? Or at least, especially if they've got good reviews, got a good reputation, the people who pick up the phone first or send you messages first, you start interacting with. So we don't want to be late, right? So we want a CRM that can help us communicate right away with our potential clients. And I will show you a demonstration of that in just a little bit. But for sure, there are people not reaching out to your practice because we don't have these things set up, okay? That's number one. Number two, we have improved organization, which equals more growth. So a CRM is also, one of the major draws to it is it's going to have what's called a pipeline. You know what? Let me just show you that right now. Whoop, I just disappeared. Boom, here we are in the CRM. Now this is a test account. There is no personal information in here. And a pipeline looks just like this. So the CRM I'm using, which you can also use too, I'll tell you about that at the end. It looks just like this. So when a client reaches out or a client is interested in our services, we have them in this pipeline and we can move them along. So maybe they just reached out, right? We know that Jane Smith just reached out. So I know when I log in, I have to call and see if they want to book a free consult. And if they do, I can go ahead and put them in the free consult category. Maybe they scheduled an intake and we slide them along, right? And so I know exactly what I need to say to this person when I call. I can text, I can call, right? I can send emails from here. And so the pipeline keeps everything super organized. No one is falling through the cracks, even once they reach out, right? We're not dealing with an inbox anymore where things can kind of get buried, or especially a voicemail, things get lost in there. Now we have a pipeline where things can be super organized and super seamless, okay? So that's another thing that's really, really good. Now, let's see. I am disappearing on and off. Okay, let's go to the next thing. The other thing is no more slow seasons or dependency on directories. So what do I mean by that? So the more time we have the CRM, the more people we're collecting, right? The more people will reach out, whether or not they become clients, of course we want them to, but over time you're going to have a database of all these people who have reached out. So let's say it's the summer and it's slow. Maybe you go back through all the people who didn't become clients and you just check in. You say, hey, I know it's been a while. Want to let you know we're still open. We take this insurance. There's been this change. And then you'll be surprised at how many people are like, oh my gosh, but the person I went with didn't work out, or, now's a better time. And you can go ahead and start booking clients through this database of people who have already raised their hands, right? Other than just waiting for the directories to kick back in and things like that. So to have this kind of like in-house database is really valuable and really, really helpful. The other thing that I think is super important is now we're able to make better decisions that lead to much more growth. So let me give you an example. Let's say we are, I'll use my own practice, right? After 1 year of using a CRM, I looked back and I was able to see which marketing tactics were actually working, like which ones provided the most clients over the course of a year. And then I was able to say, okay, well, if Google ads worked that well, I can invest more in those Google ads rather than just thinking or guessing, right? I was able to take the entire year and look at my Psychology Today stats and see, okay, that profile actually did okay. Although there were some slow months, at the core of it, it did okay. I don't need to adjust it, right? And then I'm able to see which ones don't do well, right? And this is all data, cold, hard data tracked in the CRM. I'm also able to see how many people reached out who are interested in this specialty or that specialty, right? And if no one's reaching out for the specialty I'm offering, I know something on my website isn't working and we can fix it, right? So it just gives you so much information and data that you can use to make better decisions for marketing, for practice growth, and things like that. No more throwing spaghetti at the wall, right? So I think this is something that can really, really help. Now, what are the bonus features? So inside the CRM that I use and that you can have access to as well, there's an incredible amount of bonus features. We can build landing pages. We can create endless automations. So I have one right now that if I tag someone as a Psychology Today referral, an email and text sequence goes out automatically. It is customized, it's personal, but the second I add that tag, emails and texts are going out to the person, inviting them to schedule a free consult. And then it even knows to wait a couple days if they don't hear back and then send another one just reminding them or nudging them. And then it drops them off because we don't want to bother anyone, right? So we can have endless automations, which is really, really cool. Chat bots, right? So we can add chat bots to our website, which just gives another point of entry for someone, right? Who might not want to message us in an email. They might not want to schedule a free consult yet, but maybe they have a question. So we can add a chat bot. We can do form builders. What are forms? Forms are those places on your website where people enter their information, like their name, their number, and a message. So we can build a form right from within the CRM that's embedded. So it all becomes very seamless and we can reach out right away. We can do newsletters and campaigns. We can do website building. I mean, there's just so much that we can do. But let me dive in one more time to the CRM just to give you a look around and show you a little bit more about what I have been talking about. So the pipeline is super important, right? It keeps things organized. No one falls through the cracks. And I've been saying over and over, you can message and email right from in here. So if we go to this one, this is my name, right? You click that, you can see all the information right here, right? So the name, the number, the tags, where are they? Here we go. The tags, I know why they reached out. This guy, he reached out for therapy, an ADHD group. We can filter that later, right? It's here on the side. And then we have the email, right? So I can email him right from here. If his phone number was in here, we could text him right from here. I can even call him. See that green phone? I could call this person right from within the CRM, which is really, really cool, right? We have calendars. So like I said, we can embed calendars onto our website that integrate directly into our CRM. So I don't have one set up here, but it's kind of like Calendly, right? You create a calendar, like here it is, an availability calendar. You can embed that to your site. So when someone books, and also this calendar can read all your other calendars. So it knows when you're busy and when you're not. And when that person books, it goes straight into this system. They'll end up right in the pipeline, right after booking on your website. Imagine, and we can have it so that we know they booked a free consult. It'll be right here. It's truly incredible stuff. There's also a unified inbox. So when people are messaging us back, or even on Facebook or Instagram, if they're messaging you there, it shows up in this one inbox. And this is just breaching the surface. But hopefully from this video, you can see why a CRM might be the tool you're missing for growth in your practice. It is totally overlooked and underutilized in the therapy space. Working with a ton of therapists, there's very few are actually using a CRM. I hope today, whether or not you're just starting out and you have no clients, or you're scaling and you have a bunch of clients, that you are willing to give this a try, because I do think that if used well, it can really help you grow your practice. Now, if you are looking to try a HIPAA compliant CRM, I am offering one that you can use. It is this one. I'm pointing at nothing. It is the one I just showed you. Is this it? Oh, wait, let me hide my face and we'll come back. Not that we need that. Oh man, I'm gone. Wait, is this it? There we go. This one right here. You can use this one if you're interested. I have two plans available. One is the DIY, where you'll just get access to all of the features. You can learn it yourself. I have a couple tutorials you can watch. And I have another option as well, which you would have me doing all of the CRM maintenance and backend setup and all of that. So we can create the automations, we can create the tags, we can manage the CRM for you. So there's a bunch of options there. I'll leave a link down below if you're curious. If you want to do a free demo, I'm happy to hop on a call and actually walk you through it totally for free, so you can see this for yourself in action. And yeah, again, links down below for all of that. I hope you found this video helpful. I hope you found this video interesting, and I'm trying to get my face back up here. At the end of the day though, I hope you're more inspired now about running and growing your own private practice than you were before clicking the video. All right, have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one.